To realize a dream, we have to fight against demonic strongholds and negative thinking. Demonic strongholds are negative states of mind that linger after a crisis, booby traps of thought forms that we get tricked into believing are real and define us and trap us in a state far below our potential. If we conform or confirm our negative thinking and we cave into its gravity and become paralyzed into inactivity, we thereby confirm the dark thoughts and agree with them that they are the truth. But on the other hand, when we fight them and we understand that our mind is a battlefield where spiritual principalities are waging war to win our souls and our destinies, we realize we have a choice. In the confusion of battle, it's easy to forget that we have a choice, but we do have a choice. We have the ability to direct ourselves back into the light and away from addictions and distractions and choose to do the more difficult and uncomfortable thing of the moment of growing into God's vision of who we were put here or meant to become. See, it's hard to frame this outside of a spiritual way, God versus the devil or good versus evil, because those are the polarities waging war in all of our minds. Because really, it is a spiritual battle to realize our creative potential. It's to become a light, which is then a threat to forces of darkness. And our vision, or our ideal life versus a life of defeat and suffering, is perhaps the final scorecard of that battle. And this is why boxing is the greatest analogy or metaphor or symbol for the battle of our mind, because in a good fight, both sides land blows, both fighters get tired, both fighters have to seek resolves of spirit and strength that are beyond them. And in the toughness of that battle, it's the victory or the defeat that ultimately defines them. Demonic strongholds reflect reality, but are only pretending to be the truth. But in their reflection of reality, they hold deep power and real danger towards our ability to move beyond them, which makes separating our mind from our thoughts extremely important in the battle for our soul. Using metacognition, observing our thoughts. Thoughts like, nobody likes me, reflect reality for all of us, because we live amongst people who themselves are lost in a battle for their own minds, and most cave to the gravity of demonic thinking. So regardless of where you are in your own battle, many people will in fact not like you. If you are in a season of winning the battle against strongholds, you remind them of their defeat. And conversely, if you are being defeated, then your life is hardly inspiring anyone at all. So a demonic thought like nobody likes me will have the reflection of certain amounts of reality, but it won't be the ultimate truth. And in realizing the nature of the battle we are in, we can choose a different thought. Everybody loves me. Our mind and our spirit are separate from the mechanisms of our thought. We pick our thoughts. We guide our thoughts. We can recognize these strongholds and battle against them. Guiding our thoughts is the battle, rather than believe in the reality of demonic thinking and simply allow it to overwhelm us. The two boxers are faith and fear, and in the ring of our mind, it is our choice which fighter we put our spirit behind. Fear often reflects the reality we are currently in, and by pouring our spirit into it and looking at it the way it reflects reality, we give the fighter called fear the strength to deliver faith, a knockout punch. Oh no, that's not what we want. But faith has the power of truth, and the light it reflects more strongly a world beyond this one, and our authentic selves. Our authentic self's desire to overcome the oppressive forces of this world. Let's root for faith. We have the choice every morning when we wake up which fighter to get behind, to forgive ourselves for our past mistakes and ignore the rejections or view them in the light of the actual truth. That you are a force to be reckoned with, a source of light so strong that the darkness is threatened by what you are attempting or who you are attempting to become. Repenting for past mistakes and forgiving yourself is important It means the fighter called faith gets a second wind in the ring of your dreams. Boxing is a great metaphor because it means that just because you're beat up a bit, perhaps you have a black eye or even a broken nose, but it doesn't mean that the fight is over. The bell rings and you go back in your corner, you catch your breath, you get your cuts worked on, have your trainer yell instructions into your ringing ears, and that's the way we remind ourselves what kind of fight we are actually in. And we go back out there and we keep swinging, beat the devil as it were. Demonic strongholds want you to forget that you're even in a fight at all. The negative thoughts that reflect their reality. Fear wants you to think that that's just how it is, and that those lingering suspicions that it could be some other way are self-defeat, are self-deceit and delusion. It wants to beat you up like a punching bag, but your faith makes you Muhammad Ali. You fight back. And those days of defeat were just you doing a ropey-dope to trick the devil into exhaustion. The devil can't win, or fear can't win, without our agreement of his version of reality. And just because we may have agreed in the past, or even just yesterday, doesn't mean that when the bell rings on a new day that we can't surprise the opponent with a whole new style of fighting. People love you, yes you, that's the truth. It may not yet be really reality, but it is the truth. Don't confuse the truth with reality. Reality is just the side we've been on. The truth is where we are going. And we decide every day where that is. Letting go of the past is like catching your breath. Forgiveness is like Vaseline in the cut. Love is the trainer screaming instructions. And faith is your tightening hands when the bell rings. Go get 'em, champ.